So guys, the score is 0-0, in case some
Yep.
people are wondering. We just changed servers. Some people in chat were wondering what happened. That was such a quick game.
Yeah, no, guys, we did have to come to NA as KingKong was unfortunately lacking. So, this is again game one in the grand finals between Petraeus and Avant KingKong. I'm pretty sure this is best of 5, or do they decide themselves?
Let's see. It's a best of 5s for the
Best
finals.
of 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so best of 5. So going to be a lot of great ZvZ action coming at you guys. So without further ado, in the top left-hand corner, as the yellow Zerg player, it is Petraeus from Frey, and in the bottom right-hand corner, as the blue Zerg, it is KingKong from Team Avant on Belcher Vestige.
Yep, this is a classic matchup. Petraeus against KingKong.
Yeah.
Battle of the Sea. Zerg Giants. KingKong's been doing extraordinarily well in ZvZ lately, taking out Petraeus and taking out Pig at the recent ACL Sydney, and also taking out Pig in the IM qualifiers a few days ago.
Yeah, so I know you're a ZvZ expert, so
Yeah,
why don't you go and tell us?
I'm glad you've heard
what's
of
gonna
the
happen?
talk of the town, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of special insight into this matchup.
Yeah, there is, and I know how much you love it. But no, guys, ZvZ, one of my specialities, if I do say so myself, as I'm pretty arrogant. One of my favorite matchups. There's so many little nuances and little tiny tweaks you can do in your gameplay that just give you so many edges. So definitely one of my favorite matchups. And yeah, we are going to have both of our players now. Looks like going for a 15 hatch. So these guys are not afraid of 9 pulls or 10 pulls or any sort of pulls. So yeah, pretty interesting to see here.
Yep, so both players going for that economic opening. Pretty much identical at the moment in terms of almost everything.
Yeah, not too much possible differentiation at this point in the game other than spawning pool and hatchery timings. But Petraeus actually is going to go for a gas first, as well as KingKong, so exactly mirroring each other these guys are. So that's pretty boring to see as production tab cast is coming up.
Yeah, no 9 pool, man. Really boring.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But early going gas before pool does mean that both players might be more aggressive, as you know, their link speed finishes quicker. They'll have quicker banelings and all the rest of it. But most of the reason is just because there's really not much of a reason to not go gas before pool. If you go for a hatchery first, since like if you go hatchery first and they early pool, you're pretty much stuffed anyway, regardless if you go the gas first or not. So you may as well just go full greed and get the earlier link speed.
Yep. So both guys will be going for some speed links pretty soon. And normally, do you favor mutas in this matchup at the moment, or do you prefer sort of roach speed links kind of style?
Yeah, some of it depends on the map. Like a map like Derelict Watcher, I absolutely love mutas on, as there's it's a really far rush distance and it's really open, so you can go mutaling, bailing, and actually get really good surrounds on roach, hydra sort of thing.
Yep.
And Infest is also very good on it. On a map like this, I don't mind it. There are a lot of counter-attack options if you want to go for mutas. Or you can just transition into roaches as well after mutas. Typically I do go mutas just because I feel like it is the better opening. It is a little bit riskier getting to them as like any sort of early like Tiger Banes or any just sort of really early like Roach Bane can kind of kill you sometimes. But if you do get the mutas out, you just have so much more map control, and you just dictate and dominate the flow of the game. I also really like the muta opening as well because micro is typically one of my strongest factors, and when both players are going for those like kind of Ling Baneling wars around the third bases, if you can get a cancel on that third whilst going mutas and they're going roaches, you pretty much automatically win the game. So that's typically how my games go. So we'll have to see how these players like to play. I know KingKong usually goes for roaches, and Petraeus kind of goes about 50-50, so it wouldn't surprise me to see Petraeus go for mutas here either.
Yep, okay, cool. Yeah. So both players getting that bailing nest down. I would assume that's more defensive rather than for offensive kind of uses.
Yeah, it can be either one, but we do actually see both players now making a bunch of Zerglings. So KingKong making about 20, Petraeus making about 20, so both guys now are finishing up their Zerglings. So it looks like both players are actually going to go for a bit of pressure, but Petraeus should actually have the advantage here, as he is the defender, so he'll be able to morph banelings at home with the queen for defense as well as have his rallying zerglings in production. So Petraeus is going to be pretty fine here. Oh, and nearly a massive connection there. Yeah, nearly a massive connection. KingKong does run up into the main base of Petraeus, but Petraeus has his own zerglings, so he'll be totally fine to defend this. And in the meantime, Petraeus now moving his banelings and lings across the map to go and try and deal some damage to KingKong, who is morphing a spine crawler at home, as well as 2 defensive banes, so he should be totally fine to deal with this.
Yeah, KingKong with an 8 drone advantage, making drones while doing that pressure. So it looks like now it's Petraeus' turn to put on the pressure, try and get some damage done.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I do actually love this decision from Pet to pretty much just start his lair automatically straight away, as well as take an extra 3 gases. So Pet is definitely going for that Mutalisk kind of play that we talked about earlier. And in the meantime, KingKong now just putting down a 2 evos, probably going to put down a Roach Warren soon as well, I'd suggest. And probably going to go for those roaches. And Pet right now is just trying to force out a few more banes from KingKong and just delay his lair as long as possible. But at the moment, KingKong does have plenty of gas for that lair, so probably look to see him go for the lair after his two upgrades here.
Yep, KingKong getting a full scout of Petraeus' main with that single ling, so he's going to know what's happening here with Petraeus, and we're looking to make some spores, I guess, to counteract those mutas, and Aspire is just on the way as well for Petraeus right now. Yeah,
and actually, interestingly enough, KingKong's going for 1-1 Zerglings first, so a little bit of an interesting play here out of KingKong. Those Zerglings are going to be so hard to deal with as the Mutalisk player from Petraeus, as 1-1 Lings absolutely wreck 0-0 Lings. It's not even close.
Yeah, really good, and you can deny that third base for quite a long time with those speedlings. You just can't do that much in small numbers at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. But I actually do really love this play here from Petraeus. He has these Overlord spreading creep at the third and puts that spine crawler down to help against any amount of banelings that KingKong has. So Petraeus actually does have a couple of banelings now here ready to help defend against his defend his third base. So Pet should be in pretty good shape to defend this. And Mutas are nearly going to be out here actually. The lair almost done. Sorry, the spire almost done. So a ton of banelings now are being rallied. Oh, Petraeus does get a pretty bad connection off on most of his lings there. Does split a few more off to try and kill as many of these banelings as possible. A few more banelings now are being finished up for Pet, but he takes a big drone hit there on his drones rather, and he might even lose his queen in the match in the main base as well. So KingKong getting a lot of damage done here.
Yeah, KingKong getting 7 drones with that baneling hit, and also getting the queen. So quite a lot of good amount of damage here, and it's not ended yet.
Yeah, exactly. Also, more lings now attacking the third hatchery as well. I'm not sure if that's going to go down. There are 4 banelings there to defend it, but in the meantime, more lings are running into the natural of Petraeus. Now more lings are running into the main base, killing a few drones here and there. Petraeus just really being out multitasked here. 9 mutas are about to spawn, so those are going to come great in hand to defend against these banelings and lings. But I think this might even be too much damage here. 13 workers killed.
Huge baneling hit there.
Yeah, 13 workers killed at the moment, 43 drones to 28. And KingKong does have his own spire as well building after this. So KingKong manages to kill his third base. He's got 1-1 lings. He's got his own spire nearly about a third of the way done. So he should be in pretty good shape to have mutas out in time for when he needs them, until Pet can shove back with his mutas across the map. So more lings now. Sorry.
Yeah, and we see those spore crawlers going down from KingKong as well.
Yeah.
Trying to get into a more defensive position. He's done tons of damage. He's taken out the third. He's killed 20 drones. And the only thing he has to really deal with is just these mutas from Petraeus. And once he deals with that, he should be in a pretty commanding position to win this game.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this is the reason why I love this build from KingKong. This is actually how I play ZvZ from mutas. When you have 1-1 lings, you pretty much have to control where their mutas go. If you just have lings versus lings, and you have 1-1, yours are just going to flat out win, and then you counterattack, and you deal a whole ton of damage, which means that you're constantly forcing your opponent to pull back his mutas to defend. And in that time, you get up a couple of spore crawlers, you get up a better economy with your 3 hatches and your late mutalisks, and then eventually you just kind of overwhelm him with numbers. So that's kind of what KingKong is doing here. He's got a couple of spores for defense, but Petraeus is actually going to counterattack with a lot of lings as well as his mutas, so this actually could be a lot of damage. He actually could get a lot of damage done here.
Yeah, Petraeus has a pretty big army as well, but oh, he GG's
Oh,
out.
Petraeus GG's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
too many
KingKong-
lings in his main.
Yeah, KingKong just counterattacked there with a bunch of lings, and KingKong had about 10 meters about to spawn as well, which was the same amount of Petraeus, so
Yeah,
I
so
definitely,
Yeah.
couldn't take that one.
Yep, pretty much just doing what you were saying, constantly counterattacking, and the second Petraeus actually went to try and kill King Kong. King Kong sent like 30 speed links into his main, and Petraeus had no option but to GG out.
Yeah, just such like amazing multitasking there from KingKong. Just just splitting off so many banelings, just like always having so many lings, just ready to counterattack and do damage, just whenever Petraeus was out of position. So really nice multitasking there from KingKong.
Yeah, sorry, just laughing at the chat a little bit.
That's alright. I'll forgive you this time. Alright, how about I give you mod? Can I give you mod? Follow, ignore, timeout, ban, voice, unvoice.
OP, I think. There's a like option for operator.
I don't think I have the power to give you mod.
You're on the Silicon Sports account, right? You should be.
No, that's Res on Silicon.
Oh right, okay, yeah, then you can now.
I thought moderators could give people mod, but I guess not. So guys, I am Kez casting with Ars from Silicon Sports. This is the grand finals of the Masters Cup number 36, the final Masters Cup for the year. We have Petraeus up against KingKong in the grand finals, a ZvZ grand finals. It wouldn't be C without it. And yeah, we are about to get into game number 2. KingKong, of course, taking game number 1 once I get an invite.
Yep, King Kong showcasing that really strong ZvZ skills. The winner of this series will be taking home a $100 prize, which is some nice spending money.
Yeah. or it's a week's salary for a pro gamer. So same thing.
Have to win that weekly cut, man, to pay for the food for the week.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty hardcore. Alright guys, so game 2 is now starting. The map is going to be Frost LE. And pretty strange map for ZvZ actually, Frost is, so.
Yeah, so how does ZvZ change on like 4-player maps? Because like 9 pools would be not as viable, right? Or unviable?
Yeah, you can do it, but you have to send out a drone scout, which does kind of hurt you because you have like less money and stuff like that. A lot of the builds that players do on 4-player maps is like 10 pool speed, and you pretty much just do the same thing in ZVP, where you just pull all the lings in your base until your overlords scout them, until your overlords eventually scout them, and then when speed finishes, you just go, and you pretty much just pray they haven't scouted you with their overlord first. Or you just pray that they, do the build that you want them to, and then you pretty much free win. You can also go for like 14 banelings, like one base on this map, and just kind of hope they just don't scout you first, pretty much. Really, that's the only kind of difference that 4-player maps make. It's just like the early game build orders are a little bit more coin flippy. As there are more
who scouts who first.
Yeah, exactly. As there are more one-base cheeses, and then if you scout them first with your overlord, and you see they're doing a one-base build, you kind of just win. But if you scout them last, then the other guy just kind of wins. So it is a lot more coin flippy. And these guys are going to scout each other last because they are cross spawns. Petraeus spawning up in the top right-hand corner as the yellow Zerg from Frenetic Array, and in the bottom left, KingKong, the blue Zerg from Avant.
Yep. So this is cross positions, so it's probably going to be last cards, as you said, and I think probably going to see hatch first again from both players. No, Petraeus actually putting down a spawning pool. KingKong opting for the same hatch first as he did in game 1.
Yeah,
is this a big difference? Hatch first against pool first?
Yeah, not really. Hatch
That's taking a gas actually.
Yeah, hatch first is kind of better if you want to go for like some pressure, because both your lings pop,
the lava
pops at the same time.
Yeah.
But economically, you pretty much end up at the same place at about the 6-minute 30 mark or something like that. So yeah, Petraeus is actually going for a really fast gas and then going for a hatchery. Then typically this is a speeding all in, where you take guys off of gas when you get that 100 gas, and then you just pretty much make speedlings after 15 drones with 2 queens. And it's actually a pretty good build on this map, as KingKong will scout him last. So he's not going to see that Petraeus' hatchery is slightly later, which it is with this build. If you just go for the standard 14 pulse 16 hatchery, the natural hatchery is a little bit earlier than this one. So Petraeus is going to probably go for an all-in. You can macro out of this and just use the early ling speed for aggression, but yeah, it really depends on the player.
Yeah, this will be exciting to see how KingKong holds against this. Petraeus has pulled those drones off the gas, as you mentioned, and is continuing to make loads of lings. And once I guess that speed finishes up, he'll be going for that huge timing attack against KingKong's main base. And he does scout the bottom right, Petraeus that is, and sees that there is no hatch at the natural, and most likely KingKong will not be the bottom right. So he will know where KingKong's spawn is.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and he is doing that build, by the way. He's now making a bunch of lings, whereas KingKong still hasn't scattered where Petraeus is, unfortunately. So this actually could just take KingKong off guard and just flat out kill him. His Bailey Nest now is on the way, but it will not be done. It'll be done about the same time that Petraeus' speed finishes. But typically you go just before your speed is done. So Petraeus will probably be like at KingKong's base when the Bailey Nest finishes. But KingKong is actually going to scout here with lings, and he does see all of Petraeus' lings now rallying across the map, so KingKong is going to have to take defensive measures here. He's going to have to put his queens on the ramp and block it, and maybe even try and put down a spine crawler, as well as make as many zergs as possible as quickly as he can. So this is going to come down to the wire here.
Yeah, he just took all his drones and pulled them to the main. It's making a spine crawl in his main. So it looks like he'll be, I guess, looking to give up his natural, or at least temporarily.
Yeah, pretty much. But Pet is actually going to go up and run into the main and see if KingKong is morphing any bailings, so that's a really smart decision there from Pet. He's going to even target them down now, but I believe one of the bailings is going to finish, unfortunately. He needs to get his lings out in the way of the bailing. Bailing does connect really well there. Two more bailings are finishing up for KingKong as well, but that spine crawler, as Pet is at the moment worth its weight in gold. And Petraeus hasn't even done any damage to the natural here, so Pet kind of needs to get something done. He does drone out of this though, so it's not really massively all in at this point in time. As he knows, he can't really get a whole bunch of damage done, but he does have another big bunch of zerglings here, and it looks like he might actually get this natural hatchery.
Yeah.
Staying corrected.
Things change really fast in ZvZ.
Yeah.
Just about to say that KingKong held that really well, and as you know, just 20 lings reinforced, and yeah, KingKong's going to lose that natural hatchery.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, he couldn't get Petraeus actually microed against KingKong's bandings at the natural really well, and KingKong actually just like traded one banding for one ling. Whereas if he had a couple of extra bandings, he probably would have been able to hold that no problem. So KingKong now actually has to pretty much counterattack and hope he gets a lot of damage done. Otherwise, he's pretty much going to lose this game. He needs to trade his bandings really well against Petraeus' lings, as Petraeus only has lings. He doesn't have any bandings. He does have one spine crawler, which is absolutely what you need in this kind of situation. But he is just trying to pick off KingKong's single bandings that are rallying across the map now.
Yeah, he's taking out 2 or 3 of them, only losing a handful of lings, so that was quite a good trade. KingKong does have 4 more banes as well, so he's going to have a total of 6 banes. And Petraeus continuing to try and pick them off, try and reduce that baneling count as much as he can.
Yeah, exactly. The ling count here from KingKong actually can't be too high. Like, 1 basis, you just can't really make that many lings. You have to kill the banelings. It doesn't even matter if you trade like 3 lings or 4 lings for a baneling. You just can't let the banelings like build up to where they get to like 10 numbers.
Yep.
Because like one spine crawler kills 2 or 3 banelings really easily. But as soon as they have like 10 banelings, you can just run past the spine crawler and you don't even care about it. So KingKong has to try and get as many banelings out here as possible, and Petraeus has to try and kill as many banelings as possible before KingKong gets to his base. So that's kind of what's going on here.
Yeah, so KingKong's going to have, I think, 11 banes now, so in those double numbers as you had mentioned. So quite a scary number here, taking out a lot of lings. Taking out the spine crawler too.
Jeez, yeah. Petraeus actually brings down both queens, which is what you want to do. You want to try and focus fire the queens onto the banelings, but in the meantime though, KingKong still has 5 banelings here, and a ton of lings as well. Petraeus does have his baneling that's just finishing up now, but he doesn't have any lings to build. Any money to build any lings, unfortunately. And a ton of banelings now coming into Petraeus' main base here, getting really good connections on those drones. Lings now are killing that queen. They will not be able to get it though. Petraeus does lose a couple of drones there to a single ling, but KingKong is not done yet. He's still rallying a ton of lings out across the map, and he is now taking a 36 supply lead. Sorry, 18 supply lead, 36 to 18. And more banelings now are finishing up for KingKong as well.
Yeah, King Kong with a huge drone hit there, killing I think 10 drones. He has 20 drones, only Petraeus has 10 drones. So I think he can just continue to just make units, and I think Petraeus with half the drone count shouldn't be able to keep up with us.
Yeah, absolutely not. I think Petraeus here is in a lot of trouble, and he does call GG. So King Kong coming back from the brink of defeat. Just, but he's just too good, man.
Wow. So quickly things change. I was like thinking that King Kong held, and then Petraeus takes out the national, and then now King Kong kills Petraeus. Yeah, really back and forth ZvZ. Very exciting to watch. Extremely high level.
I mean, just.
Just
it's just like, what do you...
Just got King Kong, man.
Yeah, like, you just got Korean, son. Like, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. I felt all too many times I'm, like, up against King Kong, and then he just, like, goes full Korean and just starts destroying me. But, he just... I don't even know what he needed. Obviously he needed bandings, but... it is so hard when that all-in kind of gets relatively held, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he has to sort of maybe snipe that bailing nest at the natural.
Yeah, that actually would have been a...
Yeah.
Typically when I do that build, I try and catch out their bailing nest first, because bailings is really what kills you usually.
Yeah. Because I think King Kong's morphing like 2 Banes in the main, and Petraeus got 1, and the second one actually killed like, I think 7 or 8 Lings quite early on as well, so that was quite painful. So maybe if he held those on, those Lings, he could have maybe taken out the Bailing Nest and just won.
Yeah.
But yeah, nevertheless, it wasn't enough, and King Kong just played perfectly, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was a combination of a few things, but hindsight is definitely OP. So guys, we are going to go into Game 3 now between King Kong and Petraeus. This is, of course, the Grand Finals of the Masters Cup number 36. Yeah, I am Kez. With me is Oz. I am at HeyIt'sKez on Twitter. Oz is something Chinese or Singaporean.
Yeah, it's my name, man. It's at Yang J Wong. I probably should maybe change it to like Silicon Oz or something like that. But then my friends would be like, you know,
who's
a bit
this
like,
Oz guy?
Who's this Silicon Oz guy? Maybe I should have two Twitter accounts.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is going to be Polar Night, our third and possibly final map, as the blue Zerg in the top center location. It is Avant King Kong, and in the bottom center location as the yellow Zerg, down 2-0 at the moment, needs to pull something out of his ass to pull this back. It is Frey Petraeus.
Yeah, King Kong playing really well. I think Petraeus is doing well as well, but somehow just a little bit short. And King Kong just getting a little bit better end of the deal with most of his trades as well last game. What are your thoughts on this map for ZvZ?
I kind of like this map for ZvZ. If you look at the natural hatchery is really far away from the ramp, which means a lot of all-ins actually on this map are really, really good. And we actually do see King Kong now going for a 10 pull, so he definitely feels like all-ins are pretty good in this map as well. My favourite all-in on this map is actually probably a 15 speeding all-in, kind of like what Petraeus did, as typically to defend that build, you put 2 queens on the ramp, and then you defend with bandings, but with the hatchery being so far away, the queens on the ramp don't really do anything.
Yeah.
They
can't poke down in the natural, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But any kind of like early speeding timing, where you try and just kill the hatchery and get out, is pretty good. So, but King Kong is going to go for 10 pull. He does have a gas as well, so probably going to be 10 pull speedling. 10 pull Bane, he could do it, but I'm not a big fan of 10 pull Bane these days. But I'll have to see what he wants to do.
Yeah, Petraeus going for the spawning pool first before hatch, so this is a good sign. He probably knows that this is a good map for Orleans as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, opting against that hatch first, which is quite common in the last few games.
Yeah, exactly. I would definitely not recommend hatch first on this map. So I do like King Kong though cheesing this game. He's going for 10 pull Banes. When you're 2-0 up in a best of 5, you may as well just cheese one game and just try and get a free win and finish it out. Because even if you cheese and you lose, you go to 2-1 up, and it's not really that big of a deal. And then for the next 2 games of the series, if it does go that long, your opponent is always going to be wondering if he's going to cheese you again, and all the rest of it. So I definitely do like this decision to cheese in this situation from King Kong.
Yeah, that's a good point. Even if he loses, it's going to have a mind game effect the next couple of games.
Exactly.
And all the pressure's on Petraeus now, because if he loses this game, KingKong will be the victor, and he will be taking home the $100 first prize here at the MC Cup. I think number 36.
Yeah.
Is that right? 36?
Yeah, number 36, yeah. So Pet is actually doing what you normally do to defend your hatchery, which is just pull your drones and pull your lings. But he actually hasn't realized that this is banning temple bannings. And typically against temple bannings, you need to start a spine crawler. You are still in pretty good shape as you do have a queen. You just need to make sure that you micro really, really well. Pretty much like standard, you know, ling against banning micro. But he does get a massive connection, and that is usually all it takes sometimes in temple banning. You need to make sure you trade almost equally. This is really not good for Petraeus. He gets his queen caught out on the middle of the ramp now, and loses his queen. 2 spine crawlers are finishing, but they are only halfway done, and there are no lings coming out here. I think Petraeus isn't able here.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I could see KingKong trying to catch those lings off guard, sandwich them in between his lings and the reinforcements of Petraeus, and getting so many lings. And there's pretty much only no units, in fact, now out for Petraeus. So yeah, he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. He did get a little lucky there. KingKong actually did bungle his micro and blow up a few of his banlings on a couple of drones, but KingKong now is morphing more banlings at Petraeus' natural. And Petraeus actually does have now about 10 lings out, so he does need to make sure that he splits off some of these lings and attacks the banlings before they get into the drone line. But KingKong, yeah, a lot of this is just going to come down to micro now. He does have a queen out as well, so that's really good for him as well. So I think actually Petraeus should be in pretty good shape here.
Oh wow!
As long as he doesn't lose all his lings to his banling! I stand a little bit corrected there. But,
yeah, there was a lot of drones and lings lost in that baneling.
Yeah, exactly. It is now 13 drones, 210. So Petraeus is still up on drones, only by 3. But of course, yeah, KingKong does have the tech advantage here with those banlings. But he actually cancelled his spine crawler, which I'm not sure why he did that. You really do want a spine crawler against this kind of build. His queen now is out on the ramp, but it looks like it might even get caught again. He does have a few lings building, but only 6. And Petraeus says, "Fuck, I'm bad. GG." So KingKong is going to be our victor of Masters Cup number 36. He's going to take first prize and the $100, as well as the total amount of SCS points. So yeah.
Yeah, congrats to KingKong. I'm not sure, was that a preemptive GG, or was he really behind there?
No, he was pretty much done there.
He was done there. Okay, yeah. With the cancel. Yep. Okay, fair enough. Bad luck to Petraeus. KingKong too good. Taking the series 3-0 as you mentioned, and yeah, we will be seeing him at I think the SCS Masters Cup. I'm not sure which one it is. The one at the end of the year. It's going to be the top 32
yes.
top 32
Yep.
players in points.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he'll be in that, yeah.
Yeah, he'll definitely be in that for sure.
So yeah, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I am at HeyIt'sKez, and ours, who is
At Yang J Wong.
I was about to get it.
I'll just type it out.
A big thank you to all of our sponsors as well for sponsoring this event, as well as Silicon Sports, our team. They are actually doing vouchers at the moment. I'm just trying to find it in the chat. Where'd it go? 1 second, guys. So yeah, X Smash Gear have some great SC2 shirts. So make sure you go and check out their shop, which you can find in the chat, which I just posted. So yeah, make sure you go and check them out. And yeah, do you have any final words, man?
No, thanks a lot for having me, man. I thought the ZvZs would be boring, but obviously KingKong Petraeus, it's always going to be exciting. Really good finals there, and also some nice PvZs. So yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Thank you for casting and saving my soul and my
and your voice,
my voice and everything else. So yeah, KingKong does take it 3-0 in quite a quick series actually for a best of 5.
Yeah,
so that is Masters Cup number 36. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out the SCS finals, which are happening in a couple of weeks. November the 20th, maybe. I'm not sure exactly when. So yeah, but thank you for watching, guys, and have a good night.
Yep, see you everyone.